3 a.m. rant time. I share my things on Facebook a lot because that's where a lot of the card game community just is. Says a lot about the card game community, really. It's Facebook and Twitter for Card Fight Vanguard. Like, it's the lowest of the low. You got Facebook's just general stupidity. Twitter is like galvanized aggression and meanness, but Facebook is like galvanized stupidity. And so I was sharing this new video, and someone was saying that Bushiroad has no incentive to make promos for their events really good because they don't make money on their events. This is insane. Without a doubt, you have to see that tournaments are one of the primary ways that Bushiroad gets advertising, competitive players to care about their game, and it makes Bushiroad look more legitimate as a company. You see, one of the most important things in marketing, like deep marketing, is consumer interaction. That's why things like transmedia projects do so well in the industry, or I wouldn't even say do so well, they're so like craved, because, you know, if you get a few really dedicated people spreading word of mouth marketing, your project looks so much better in the eyes of investors. Or in Vanguard's case, it's not, well, I guess it is investors. I think they're a publicly traded company. They have a stock to worry about, but they also have to foster a community if they want people to keep playing their shitty card game. But tournaments are big in word of mouth marketing. If you go and ask your friend, hey, you want to hang out? And they're like, nah, I can't. I'm going to a Vanguard tournament. I'm going to Bushiroad Championship Series this weekend. You have just advertised another person who would have never heard of your shitty card game because of this. Now, I get it. The events themselves are free. But you gotta remember, if something is free, that usually means you're the product. If a competitive player wants to go to a tournament, they have to buy an actual deck. Now you might say, oh, but don't people who get decks and buy singles buy them from vendors? Well, do you know where the vendors get their product from? From Bushiroad, from their boxes. And it's like vendors only buy as much product as they think they're going to sell. If you have a tournament, players buy more singles, which equates to more product sold for Bushiroad's aspect. I have people telling me that Bushiroad makes no money from tournaments. And it's like, well, not directly. That's not how things work. Tournaments are part of their marketing budget. Help sell the really stupid anime image they have. It gets competitive players' juices flowing, and they can sell it to casuals as a chance to meet new people with their shitty game. So Bushiroad has an incentive to make their promos good because it creates a fear of missing out on the consumers who now have to go to these events. And when you go to these events, it looks good. It looks good for everyone. All the higher-ups at, Bushiroad saying, oh yes, a lot of people are going to our events. Stock price go burr. Well, not really. Bushiroad's well, they're actually doing fine as a company, but it's not at all from their card game departments. I mean, I'm saying this because Weisswartz isn't really a card game. It's more of a collector's market, like Pokemon. So this person says Bushiroad events are only for those who want to compete. That's a very restrictive and stupid way of looking at it. You host tournaments that are free to enter because they don't have to be competitive. If you go to a Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS where it's $20 for entry, not a YCS, but a regionals, where it's $20 for entry, you're not gonna go unless you're competitive. If you go to Vanguard, where the entire game is casually oriented, you don't have the over trigger in your competitive fucking game, you go to Vanguard events to have fun. That's what they do. I have this dude telling me that it's not a conspiracy that companies don't, when they set things up, try to, make money off of everything. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's an entire thing that people keep complaining about. It's called capitalism, right? Companies make money. If Bushiroad tournaments did not make them money, did not generate marketing, and did not generate interest, they wouldn't be done. Bushiroad would not host events. They'd let some third party do it so they can take the loss. That's what locals are. Locals are usually not a very profitable thing for a shop. Locals only make money from selling singles when people happen to be there, or selling snacks. With the expensive promos, Bushiroad is trying to get you to care about their stupid event. It's that simple. They get to post it all on social media. They get to have you talk about it to all your friends when you go to an event. And then get you to buy whatever stupid new deck is if you want to go. Be it good or bad, you still bought a deck from their vendors. If vendors see that an event is really popular, they'll stock more products, which means Bushiroad will make more money. Speaking of which, I need to rant about these garbage new promos. I've complained about how expensive premium is relative to the actual game. I stated in that little short that there's going to be at maximum 500 copies of the promo. As of right now, they're less than 200. I went through, I added up all of the player numbers for these events. That's how many copies of the promos are out right now. You can't get them. The only reason I have one is because I lent my friend a deck in exchange for him giving me the promo. I think he's kind of salty about it because it's like a $35 to $100 promo. Now, with the number of events we have in the future, there's only going to be 500 copies of this card max. People aren't signing up the premium because it's too expensive, the format is too toxic, and it's too toxic and it's too luck-based. But these promos are just going to make the whole situation worse. It's like what happened with Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball Super, they started releasing meta-defining cards exclusively as promos. So if you went to an event, you did well, you got your good promos. Then with these promos, you could win another event. This created a pyramid scheme of a card game. You get new players in who would always lose at events, maybe get some cheap promos, but if you're already doing well, you did better. So Dragon Ball Super ended up falling out of popularity on competitive formats because all of the cards you ended up needing were promos. Also, there was a lot of power creep in Dragon Ball Super, but I'm ranting about promos right now, so we're going to talk about promos right now. Like, I was looking at Digimon. They have expensive promos. They have relevant promos, like meta-relevant, mechanically unique promos. What makes these okay, in my opinion, is that Digimon actually has the player base to support distributing them, and they give them out on a more local level too. And most of their promos are expensive alternate arts, which if Bushiroad had really nice alternate arts of popular cards available as promos, I don't think anyone would be upset. Instead of, if I want to go play Deleters, I have to pray to God someone has 4 copies of this new promo, which it's on 2CG Play right now for $35, but I get to buy 1 copy off that for $35, and then it jumps up to $100 goddamn dollars. I don't get to play Deleters now, which is a deck I really think looks cool in premium. It's not even meta, it's just, I guess you could say a weaker rogue option, but it's a lot of fun, and it's something you don't get to try, because this promo system is actually terrible for everyone. Because when maybe 50 to 60 players go to your big Vanguard events, you can't have them. You can't have cards be distributed at these events. People really forget how small the Vanguard community is. It is, like, I think it's technically like it's somewhere between the 6th and 10th best-selling card game, and it is microscopic. I'm lucky I have a locals for it at all. Who would have thought that rebooting the game 3 times would, ruin your player base? Thanks Bushiroad.